This is a test for my NEA video game dubbed Hero's Mind Journey. As you can see here, there is the player holding a sword. If you look at the player's hotbar, there are 3 items. The first of which is a blaster, the second of which is a sword, and the third of which is a shield. As you can see, the player is holding the sword, and if I press the number 2 button, the sword now disappears. Press it again. Player now partially glides forward. So as you can see, cause of gliding, it moves the players in unwarranted directions. And as you can see, or have seen, throughout this recording, the score has gone up throughout the entire playthrough. After the player has defeated a drone, the score will go up as programmed. The health also goes down if the player is attacked by a drone, or the player passes through a barrier in which they are not allowed to, that being a wall. So now that we've completed this part, we can move on to the level 2 portion, which is a substantially larger room. And I'm clicking, and the 11th drone, which had previously spawned, and as you've just seen, very quickly travels towards the player, and is much larger than the original drone. Much larger, much faster, and much stronger, which is why it is imperative to not be attacked by them. As you can also see, the score has gone up substantially here while the game has been played through, from 0 to 675. But this is an error due to this is also another error which occurs many times if the player does not attack whilst in the vicinity of a secondary drone. So if I go out, the game should have still continued. Well, I had completely paused the game, but as you can see here, if we observe the actual landscape of the game, we can observe the player has all 3 items: the blaster, the sword, and the shield. The player also has obtained some shoulder armor. This player is called Hero, as the aforementioned player and character within the game. As you can see here, there's the drone spawner in which the drone is manifested from, and this here is a crate in which the player's health is replenished. The door that passes through has a keypad, as the original intention was to have a card that the player could slide through this port here, and they could access the door or access a secondary level. This here being level 2, as you can see, compared to level 1, some of the wall assets are missing. This is corrected in the playthrough of the game, as within the code they have reappeared, but in the physical state they are not there. There's also a part of the ship, as this is the area that the levels in the game takes place on. It takes place on a spaceship. So there is a control panel of the ship that looks very familiar to something that certain people may know, certain people may not know. There are also more crates, as there's substantially more health to be replenished due to the drones that spawn from here. If we move on, so we can see there is also another card and door here and there, so that the player can travel through from different levels. And here is the level 3 area. This game only has 4 levels due to the rush nature of production. But as you can see, there are 6 crates in which the user can replenish their health, and there is a pipe that's going through. There is also a computer here with a keyboard, mousepad, and pipes going through it, and a screen which has a visual display. There is also now here a hologram of the drone to spawn. Of course, it won't be this size. It will be much larger. But this is just a miniature preview of what's to come. And the reasoning for the drone spawner being on the wall is so when the new drone arrives, it will spawn and it will just turn and start attacking the player. And if we move on to the zone for the final level of the game, level 4, as you can see, there is still another door here with a keypad, with a card pad, and same case on the other side. The pipe going around and going to the floor. There are many, many more crates here. There's at least 30 crates. No, 24. Recount my math. If you can check the video again. But there is a drone spawner here with the 4th type of drone, the boss drone. There is no preview for this as this is just an unsurmounted surprise. There is also the 2 items that were previously in the game, a control panel center and another computer. This is just a final area for the game, a sort of a miniature celebration of the game, as it has all items from the game, the crates, the drone spawner, the pipes, the computer, and the controls. While it does not do anything, this is just a simple example of, well done, you have reached this far into the game. So now, if we observe over here, the game was originally supposed to have 50 levels, but this was too difficult to encode. This is the actual size of the 3rd drone, which, as you can see, has glowing panels, and it looks incredibly similar to the player, with its chest and its face being a screen and having multiple vents on it. This game was originally slated to have 50 levels, but this had been proven to be too difficult to code, so this was then lowered down to 20 here. Then, when in creation on Unity, was lowered further again down to 12, and due to the numbers being unable to be encoded properly, it has now been lowered to 4, so they can be encoded and submitted within the right frame of time. As you can see, there is also a red light. This is due to this is to help the player not blend into the backgrounds, because if I remove this, it's quite strange. You can see that the player looks partially invisible from this.